Mr. Robert can speak a lot, but our objective is to encourage you speaking and share our ideas. So, dear teachers, how do you motivate your students?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi. Hello, everyone. So, nowadays we teach how to say with destination like online, so that's why it's not as usual as it was before. So that's why it's becoming more difficult right now to motivate them. Just we can motivate with speaking good words like good job, you can do it, you are perfect, like this. But when we so used to go to school before, so it was more how to say easier, not like this. But there are many methods to motivate students. So it depends on their reply. It depends on our topic, like this. Mostly, for example, I can motivate my students with saying good words, like this. If they have, even if they have mistakes, I can say you can. It will be better to write like this, but you are trying. So maybe next time you will have the best mark, like this. So you can do it. You can do your best, like this. I can say like this. Maybe you will you will say another ideas.
Okay, thank you.
That was really encouraging, Merit, and very, very good. You are realizing that we're in a very different situation, kind of setup right now because of the COVID situation, but we still continue encouraging them by good words, by correcting them, encouraging them.
Yeah, you are right.
Thank you, Robert. Good afternoon one more time, dear colleagues. So today we are speaking about how to motivate our learners. Yeah, I think first of all we have to understand what is it motivation. Yeah. So how do you think? What is it motivation?
It's to help to pupils to work harder next time maybe, and it's like to how to say, to help them to get good better marks. It's like saying good feedback to their work and to know the level of their education.
Thank you. Yeah, it is good when we, when we consider the level of our students, the level of their understanding and their abilities, their how to say, their learning styles, their peculiarities, their character, and etc. But you see, everything you told, you said, I think it is kind of outer motivation. Yeah, we know that there are two kinds of motivation: outer and inner motivation. And researchers say, and researchers show, some research show that it is more important when we try to develop students' inner motivation, внутреннюю мотивацию, because it is a kind of power, and it is power, and it is kind of impulse that makes a person to move forward. You see? So when our students, they are self-motivated and they've got their inner motivation in a good level, so it is difficult for them to live, not only to study, but just to live a good life, to have a good life, to have big success, and etc. So, Ksenia, do you have something to say?
I absolutely agree with you. I always try to attract my students by explaining them why do they need to learn English. So when they set their own goals, such as IELTS exam, or going to a good university, or maybe earning a lot of money, then of course their motivation will be higher and much stronger. It's not easy, I understand it, because some learners can understand it, some still try to avoid serious discussions, but if it works, it will be the strongest motivation for them to grow. So yeah, I try to use both kinds of motivation, inner and outer. Yeah, and I also agree with Miroert, what she said about encouraging words. Of course, we all want to hear these words to support us. So during the lesson, it's really important.
Thank you, Ksenia. Thank you. Robert, will you share with your experience with us?
Well, similarly, I also try to play around both external and outward and inward motivation, because my understanding of motivation is the mental shift or changing the mindset of the learner so that they feel the learning environment a bit more safer and encouraging for them. So motivation to me is looking at it in a way that this student will feel more comfortable in the classroom, thereby carrying out the tasks with enthusiasm. Yes, so the various activities that we put into place so that the students can deliver or can meet the lesson objectives easily, to me, that defines now motivation.
And being engaged in learning process, yeah?
Exactly.
Thank you, thank you. So, dear colleagues, do you have anything to say, please? Amangul, please. Please share with your opinion. This club is not only for us to speak, but we want to listen to your ideas, to your opinion. And I know that you've got a lot of experience because you have students, yeah? I don't have students, unfortunately. I teach teachers. So that's why I think you've got a lot of experience. Please share with us. And don't hesitate if there is any mistakes. I know that I've got a lot of grammar and other mistakes because my speaking skill is getting worse and worse because I don't have any practice. So that's why I organized this club. So please speak. Switch
Dear
on you.
tell us, how do you motivate your learners? Not only right now, but maybe before online teaching, because we all hope that one day it will be finished and we come back. We have two hands raised, yeah, Amangul and Miroert.
Yeah, you're welcome, please. Amangul, will you switch on your microphone? Or Miroert? What about the others? We've got 74 teachers, participants here, please.
But it's very silent, yeah?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there are 74 teachers.
English teachers, yeah.
Yeah, because right now it's very difficult for teachers to speak because there is no any sphere, there is no any practice. So sometimes it's very difficult. It's very useful for us, for English teachers, to join like like a conversation club like this. So thank you firstly for your organization like this, and thank you for Robert. Nice to meet you. And
Thank you.
yeah, I would like to know about the methods of motivation for young learners, for I don't know, for EFL students. How can we motivate? How to say? During the class, more practiceful like this, So to see next time that our students can show us another good results. I don't know. Do you can you share your opinions about the methods of motivation?
Okay. I think Ms. Kisenya may talk about the ESL. She's the one who deals mostly with the English as a second language. Well, you brought in a very good point for the young kids. And for me, I still believe in working around their mind. A good example would be making them feel in control of their learning. Suppose we start our lesson by asking students to draft, to come up with a draft of rules and regulations for the class, what we should do and what we, such that you as a teacher, you're not the one presenting the rules, the students are developing them. That, hey students, in class we do work. What should we do if somebody does not finish work? Then you involve them so they feel some oomph of importance, like they have a seat at the table where they're making a decision. So my first idea would be to involve them in general crafting of class rules. And now we move this one to even homework, not even homework, sorry, to assignments. Once after teaching, once you want to give assignment, you can decide that you're going to create 5 pieces of assignments of equal weight. Let the students choose, tell them, please, from the 5 assignments, choose 3 that you want to do. A student feels that they have control, as opposed to you as a teacher imposing to them that you have to do question 1, 2, and 3. You tell them we have 5 set of assignments, pick 2 that you want to do. So it's an issue of just giving them that control, and then they feel a bit engaged in the learning process, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Excellent idea, Mr. Robert. Next time I will use it actually in my classroom. Let my students choose which homework assignment they want to do. Actually, yeah, it's a good idea.
Yes.
Personally,
Thank you. Okay, Ksenia.
Sorry, I wanted to share how I try to motivate and engage my learners during the lesson. Well, of course, some lessons can be boring for students. It depends on lots of circumstances, but I try to use interesting topics for students, not for me, but for students. For example, recently I taught my students about graffiti. They are adult learners, 16, 17 years old, and this was the most interesting lesson for my students because they like graffiti, they know about it, they try to search the net about it, but when I suggest them some boring text, of course they lose their interest and they are not motivated, unfortunately. So I prefer to choose what they would be interested in and change different activities during the lesson. For example, not focus only one skill, reading or listening, but change different skills such as writing, speaking at the same time. Let it be short only for 5-10 minutes, but that's enough. When the students change their activity, they keep focused. Also, when we're talking about motivation, it's important to choose appropriate level of difficulty. I try to complicate these tasks from time to time, again, to keep learners interested. Dear teachers, we see some raised hands.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ksenia. So I think we've got some new people here. So let me introduce ourselves, sorry. But we've started this, speaking club months ago. So this is our second meeting. I am Saparbayeva Zamira. I work at Center of Excellence, Shimkent branch. Ksenia, Alikulova Ksenia, she is an NIS teacher. Robert also is an NIS teacher. So that is a little information about us, yeah. And we have meetings in this speaking club every month. We will have, I hope so, that we will organize, yeah, meetings every month. once a month. We will give, please join us in Instagram, and there'll be an announcement about the meeting. So Amwan Gul, you have your hand risen. So please, reason. So do you have anything to say? Or Jadra, please join us. I have a lot of things to say, but I want to listen to you. Okay? Rosa. Oh. Yeah, you're welcome, please. Something wrong with internet or what? Okay, let me say. You see, if you have a problem, we have a problem. For example, if you have this problem with your students, I mean low motivation, then we have to work on it. It can be the theme of your action research. If you've got a lot of problems, if you've got a lot of students with low motivation, then you can research, you can explore this theme, and you can look for it deeper and look for some information. First of all, we have to read books. We have to look for information about the problem, because it is not an easy problem. Motivation, it connects with psychology. So we have to know, what is it, motivation? We have to know the types of motivation. And then we will look for instruments. Then we have to look for strategies, how to develop students' motivation. You see, that's why without looking for some information, without reading some books, some resources, we can't decide this problem. Just saying our predictions or just opinion, just ideas, it is not the solution of the problem. So I read some information, and there were such strategies as Robert mentioned. We have to give students chance to choose. It is very good when we try to develop students' ownership or ability, or don't know, when they feel that they are really teacher really cares about that student, or respects that student as a person, как личность, тұлға ретінде сыйлай сол баланы, and give opportunity to choose. It is one version, and Ksenia told you, you should use different strategies in your teaching, not just lecture. Different strategies, active methods of teaching, and different approaches of teaching to тәсілдерді қолдану. It will help you to motivate your learners. And one more thing, if you want to motivate your learners, you have to be motivated yourself. If you are not motivated, if you don't love your subject, if you don't adore your teaching, if you are not so interested in English as a subject and as a language, if you are not in a good mood even, so everything will influence on your students. So they see everything. Even your something which is in your soul, maybe. So that's why you have to be very motivated, enthusiastic, and show them that you care about your students, first of all, that you care about your subject, and that you care about your teaching. Что вам действительно это интересно, что вы заботитесь об этом, надо это показать, оны көрсету керек балаларға. Балаларға сіз өзіңіздің дәрменсіздігіңізді, өзіңіздің қызықпайтындығыңызды көрсетсеңіз, сіздің қателеріңізді көретін болса, олар, of course, какая там будет мотивация. Yeah? So, anyone? Жазир, I think, wants to say something. Yeah, please. Жазир, Жадра, maybe. If you have any questions, ask us, please.
Yeah, dear teachers, you can ask anyone here to help or to answer some of your questions about all aspects in teaching. And we'll also learn to hear you, to learn from you, because you have got so big experience.
Yes.
So it's me again, Miriam. So can I ask one question that it's very important for me, because you know that it's not a sphere that we can improve, develop our speaking skills. And I would like to, for example, to have some program for special English teachers to go abroad. So do we have some, I don't know, some special programs like this in our country? For example, native speakers can visit Kazakhstan and I don't know, to have some practice here. But we, as English teachers, to motivate ourselves to improve our learning methods, I don't know, our English skills, to have a high qualification of teaching English, and I would like to have like this program. I don't know, but is there some opportunities for us, for English teachers? Because you are working in this sphere, so I'm sure that you know something.
Okay, Ksenia, will you answer, or Robert?
Yeah, of course, I will try. Personally, I'm not sure about government programs that send our teachers to work abroad. Maybe they exist, but I'm not sure. I don't want to lie to you right now. But you can always do it yourself. First of all, you should have a good resume to attract foreign schools. Of course, they look at IELTS exam, so you should take an exam that will confirm that you know English very well to teach it abroad. So I think 7 is an appropriate level in IELTS to get a good job. Also, for English teachers, it's really, how to say, useful to have an international certificate that also confirms that you are a good English teacher. Personally, I did all 3 modules of teaching knowledge test in study in Shymkent. So I went there, I did exam, then I got certificate. You can prepare at courses, you can prepare yourself. For example, I prepared myself for this exam. Also, it's the price of
Sorry. Dear colleagues, will you switch off your microphones? Yeah.
But by far the best thing for any English teacher is to get CELTA certificate. Please write it or type, or maybe you already know about this, but if you get this certificate, you can work abroad. So even without any program, you can send your resume, go and teach. But unfortunately, it's not so simple to get a job abroad to teach, which is why international certificates, they are more recognizable than our diplomas, at least in my opinion, my experience.
Okay, but I don't want to work there, just to have some program, like maybe it will last like 4 months, 6 months like this, and to come back to our country and to teach, to learn more things, more methods in this country, in English speaking country, then teach our Kazakh students. I don't want to work there because I was there 10 years ago.
I think you are
and
referring to some sort of an exchange program, right?
what exactly?
I think, okay.
What exactly? What program?
No, I think you are referring to some exchange program where you go out, go to an English-speaking country for maybe 3-4 months, not to work, but to just look at and learn how they do things. Then when you come here, you come to implement that.
Okay. But I want to know about the state program. So,
well, unfortunately,
I'm afraid, yeah.
I'm not familiar with government programs, so I just can't answer this question.
Yeah.
okay, maybe in the future I will looking for these. Thank you.
Okay, good luck. Yeah, I know only Bolashak, and that is all, I think.
Yeah, there
And
are programs for students, but for teachers, I'm just not sure.
And you see, I think in order to study good strategies of teaching, in order to know good ways of how to motivate learners and etc. Yeah, some professional questions. We have internet. Yeah, we have a lot of online courses. We have free online courses, right? Like Coursera, for example. Yeah, the simplest one. Like Khan, like another one which is. A lot of platforms that give us opportunity to study for free if you don't want the certificate. But if you really want to have the certificate, you have to do all the assignments, tasks. Yeah, I mean, and you have to pay money, and you will be given certificate, international certificate. So now this time is gives you, dear colleagues, great opportunity to self-study. Can I say self-study?
Yeah,
Self-study, because now you are at home, you've got some free time, some of you have a lot of free time, so there are good platforms and international platforms where you can just study for free. Okay, for example, I am studying with Coursera. I don't need the certificate. I just want to improve some of my skills, so that's why I attend their courses. I'll write in our chat if you are interested this information. So, Shadra, Jazira, please, you're welcome. Do you want to say anything? Maybe in the future our Kazakhstan will send us to study there, to develop ourselves with the special requirements. Next year I'll try to pass exam for IELTS. Do you know some special office where I can do it here in Shymkent? So you see, Mervert, we have a lot of courses for that give you opportunity to develop your or to have this IELTS test, yeah. And I'm not sure about our government. You know, we've got a lot of debts here. And just yesterday, they said on TV that we are again asking for some money from other countries. So our government is not so rich. So please, these kind of things, it will decrease your motivation. Just we can't wait for it. Yeah, we can't wait for magic. We have to rely on ourselves, rely on ourselves. Надеяться только на себя надо, because you know this crisis, it is all over the world, and our country also facing difficulties in economy. So I don't think that our country can afford sending our teachers abroad for free and give them some. Как же эта стипендия была на английском еще?
Stipend.
Scholarship, yeah? Scholarship.
That's right.
And give some scholarship. So our country, I think, can't do it just now.
And teachers, actually, the most recognizable course that teach you how to teach English, they are all done by Cambridge University. And the most famous one and the most acceptable in all countries is CELTA course. So sometimes our government pay for teachers to go there, but it's school administration who asks to suggest their teachers to go and to be paid for it. Yeah, the money is rather like big sum of money.
Oh, sorry.
So actually, it's expensive course. So be ready. Even if our government pays for you, you must come back and you must work after it. Otherwise, if you don't work, or you might have some problems. You will have to give this money back. So yeah, I agree with Ms. Zamira that relying on yourself in this matter, it's very reasonable advice.
There is one teacher whom holds a contrary opinion. I wish you can give her or him, I'm not sure, somebody called Kuralai. I wish you can give him an opportunity also to share his views.
Yeah, Kuralai, please. You wrote that you don't agree with us. Please say your opinion. Share with us with your opinion. You don't agree with us. It's okay. Yeah. Please, will you explain us?
Agree to disagree.
Pralay, are you with us? Okay. So, colleagues, you don't have to switch your video. Yeah, videolarınız düşürseniz болады, söylemесеңіздер.
Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to meet you, all of them. Today, I'm a first participant here, and I have questions for Kenya. That, as she mentioned, that she said that when we are studying in a group, first of all, my name is Kim. I'm as a teacher in a private course when she organizing the in topics, and that what about the grammar skill? How do you explain it?
Dear Sim, we have bad connection, so I didn't hear your question very clearly.
Yeah. Will you write your question, please?
Yeah, I will definitely answer it with pleasure.
If you write your question, we will try to answer your question.
Or you can repeat. I will try to listen to you again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
Just I want to ask that you said that you choose only the interesting topics, and here I mean that when you explaining the grammatical task, how do you explain it?
So
it's
how
not only text.
How do I explain grammar? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very challenging question for any English teacher. Yeah, our current program in Kazakhstan is designed not to teach grammar like we used to teach it 30, 40, 50 years ago. So yeah, we are asked to teach it from the context. So if it's possible, I use text that demonstrates some grammar. For example, past perfect. If there are lots of past perfect, I can ask students questions, and when they answer, I elicit their answers from themselves. But you don't have to use only text, of course. You can tell a story about your own experience that demonstrate this grammar, and you can ask students. First of all, any English teacher should ask students what do they know about this grammar, because lots of topics they have already learned. And at first you elicit through text, through your story, and if they don't know, you just give it. You can always go to a board and write this grammar, but you can put their gaps and ask students to guess the answer. So not give it directly, but try to make students go to it themselves. So when they themselves find the answer, they will learn it better. And after you teach these grammar units, you must always check how well they understand. Of course, you should do exercises, it's okay, but it's not enough. The more they use it in their speech, the better. It's called uncontrolled practice. So when they use it in conversations, in real life situations, in role plays. For example, if you teach blaming language, so blame, when you blame somebody, oh, you have done so bad things. I blame you, it's your fault. You taught them this grammar after you give them role play. For example, you give them some kind of situation between boyfriend and girlfriend. She damaged his car. So he blames her and he tells her, oh, all these phrases that you taught them. Or you can demonstrate an argument between two friends who blame each other. So yeah, personally, I try to teach grammar, of course, more than were required, because without grammar, in any case, they will never get a good certificate for them to study abroad.
Thank you, Ksenia. Okay, any questions? Так, Фролай wrote, because the government created the project Polashak to increase and exchange our experience with our teachers from abroad. So, Frolai, it is. I think you've got a chance to write for Polashak and to use this program. And there are so many activities to reach grammar like POV. Repeat after me. Good. POV. Thank you, Frolai, for sharing with your experience. Yeah. So again, about motivation, please, colleagues, share with your experience how to raise students' motivation. One more thing, Ksenia mentioned that we have to use students' previous knowledge. Yeah. If you are going to start a new material, new theme, new topic, you have to use your students' previous knowledge, because it is a kind of bridge, it is a kind of scaffolding for your students to get to know new topic. Yeah. It is a very good example when Ksenia told us about a kind of flipped classroom. Yeah, flipped classroom, when we give a problem and then we start to discuss, to ask questions, answer these questions, to debate maybe sometimes, and we solve the problem together. It is absolutely another thing when you start to explain this boredom, explaining present perfect is when we use yeah. Please give students situations, a kind of problem, and then ask them questions, a lot of questions. Give students opportunity to solve this problem and to gain that knowledge themselves. Білімге бала өзі жету керек. Сонда ол, then it will be remembered for a long time, and students' knowledge of that theme will be deeper and deeper. Robert, will you add anything?
That was deep. That's English at the deepest level.
Yeah, I agree with you. But yeah, what to do with students with poor English, please?
Yeah, what do you do?
Well, with at least for NIS, we have the CLIL programs where we try to bring in English in all the subjects, and as simple as providing useful phrases for the students in a classroom, at least for us in computing. For instance, if you're going to learn about right now we are learning some things to do with fetch, execute, cycle. I will create a list of the useful phrases that the students can use that will help them support their learning, their English per se. There is also the keywords that they are expecting to find in their reading for that lesson. So you could identify some of the keywords or subject-specific terms, and you get the meanings, and if were possible, translate that into Russian so that these students are not feel really off. So as a student is reading, he finds a term, and you have already identified that term in the useful phrases or the common terms that they're going to find. So that's how one way that we try to support them to try support English for the weak learners or those students with learning difficulties. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Robert, for one way of solving this problem. Yeah, students with low motivation, it's really hard there. You see, one more thing, dear colleagues, that motivation, it comes, it is something inner, it is inner feeling. When when a person, let me say person, not a student, but when a person is happy, he's got this motivation. But when he or she is unhappy, and it is difficult to raise his her motivation. You can just influence. Вы можете только осирить делать, but it's just a big topic, yeah, motivation, because it depends on teacher, not only teachers how to motivate learners, but on their parents, on their environment. Sometimes students with not strong character, yeah, they generally motivation, it is not stable. Stable это же вот это, да, не изменяется, да, который как там?
Стабильный это.
Да, стабильный, вот. Motivation is not stable. It is so changeable. Yeah. So sometimes it's okay with motivation, and sometimes it's not okay with motivation, because there are a lot of factors that influence on it, that have effects, let me say effect. There are a lot of factors that affect on motivation. And there was a question, how to motivate teachers? So people, if you are not motivated, then why we are talking about motivation of our learners? I think as a teacher, you have to be motivated in your job, because that's your job, your choice. You are teachers, and you have chosen this profession yourself. You are paid for this job. You stayed at this job for some years. Then it is your responsibility to be motivated, I think, and to encourage your students to be motivated. And I think you have to be enthusiastic, because you are working as a teacher, and you teach students. I think you love your students. Then I think it is not a question how to motivate teachers. If you don't like it, but it is a problem. I know it is a big problem. But if you don't like your job, and if it is difficult for you to be motivated in your teaching, yeah, so just leave your job. I think I'm afraid for being hard, but I think this is the out of discussion how to motivate teachers. We know that your salary is not high. Yeah, we know that you've got a lot of job. It is difficult job. Yeah, it is a kind of sometimes you don't have time for your family, for your own children. You know everything. You know all these aspects, but you stayed at this position, then we have to be responsible because of our staying.
Okay, maybe to add on to that, this is how I look at it as a teacher. I am going to teach someone else's children. Someone else will teach my children.
Yes.
So for me, I look at it as I self-motivate myself, because apparently the government or others may not motivate you as a teacher. So motivate yourself, do the very best to that child, so that somebody else, when Ms. Ksenia is teaching your child English, they will teach your child so well, expecting that the world will be fair to her children, and that other teacher will teach their child, her child very well. So it's a roller coaster. It's a situation whereby you scratch my back, I scratch your back. That's one. Secondly, I also view teaching as a calling more than a profession. So you are there,
mission there,
you as a teacher, and the nurse and the doctors. It's more of a calling. In the most severe environment, the doctor will still treat that patient. Okay, so try to find self-motivation, because unlike the students where we are saying we'll do this to make the students a bit more motivated, we'll do this to make them motivated. For you, it seems like there's nobody who is looking after you, because the government feels that they have paid you. They feel that's a job. So take a paradigm change and look at your job as a calling, that you're doing it to benefit someone else's child, because somebody else, you will not have the opportunity to teach your child. And if you have that opportunity, you will not teach your child all the subjects. You will teach your child maybe English. I will meet your child and teach your child computer science. So I will teach your child computer science so well, hoping that you will also, when you meet my child in the English lesson, you will do the same. So for me, I would look at it from self-motivation.
Wow, excellent example. Life is mirror. What you do for others, then others will do the same for you. God cares about it. Okay, Ksenia.
Actually, losing motivation from teachers is a big problem. I understand it. I get tired. I get exhausted by working so many hours with students, by low internet connection. So, and it's not only our problems that we live in Kazakhstan and we lose our motivation. No, teachers in all countries in the world lose their motivation. And it's called professional burnout, профессиональное выгорание.
Yes.
When you lose it, when you get tired, and you don't know if you want to continue to be a teacher or you want to stop and quit the profession. Actually, I would like to suggest to you to discuss it in our next meeting.
Okay.
Professional burnout is our sickness, and sometimes I suffer from it. One days I wake up very exhausted, but for me the biggest motivation is given by my colleagues. When I come to good conferences, when I listen to professionals, when I admire my colleagues who teach greatly, when I listen to your stories, because all of you are heroes, you teach, and it's very difficult to teach nowadays.
Yes.
So actually, this is my biggest motivation. So if you agree, please let us know if you want to discuss it next time, how to win professional burnout.
Yes, professional burnout, профессиональное выгорание. Yeah, okay, teachers, colleagues, one more thing about motivation. We really thank you for your job. You are doing a great job, because our country and we were not ready for distant learning, for distant teaching, for online teaching. Yeah, we were not ready, but we have to start it, and you started this process. And first of all, you faced a lot of difficulties. We know you faced a lot of problems and a lot of stress. We know it. And we know that you spent a lot of time on smartphones, because there is no internet connection with your students, and they can't use Zoom, they can't use another platforms, yeah, Teams, and you have to just connect with them only with WhatsApp. We know it, but you see, when we take this responsibility, being a teacher, staying at my job, then I have to understand that I have to do my best in my position. This is my motivation. You see, we also got a lot of different tasks, like writing a report, writing an article for the newspaper, and etc., etc., etc. And nevertheless, I do this my speaking club because I'm motivated with this. I really miss you. I really miss English because I love English. And we've got a good priority. We can understand any literature in English. You can understand any speaker who speaks English. You can listen to TED Talks or online and understand and be motivated. Сіздер топ TED Talks'тарды тыңдай аласыздар, иә, YouTube'дан басқадан. Өте different millionaires, different very rich people from Forbes, and very successful people. They speak in TED Talks. You can listen to their talk and you understand it without any translation. So we are very happy people that we can communicate in English and understand understand this language. So I think it is a very big motivation for us. And then we have to try to influence on our students. When student feels that you care about him or her, he will love you. Yeah, he or she will love you, and then eventually he will love your subject. And I think he or she will be one of your best students. We have to care about our students. No information about.
May I add something here?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Sanwa Kralai from the region Almaty. So, I am also an English teacher at school. For being motivational teacher, we can, as Robert said, we can love our profession, not as a job, not as a work, but as a habit, as a hobby, I think. And we should equal ourselves to our people's condition and their age, with their age, I think. Am I right? Yes.
Will you repeat? I was reading the chat and I missed you saying.
Okay, to being motivational teacher, I said that we can love our profession, not as a job, not as a work, but hobby and a habit. Yes. And we should equal ourselves, our age, our condition with our people's condition and the age, I think. And for being, for how to say, finding some materials, we have no problem. We have no more problems than other subjects because in our English language there are a lot of materials in these. For example, some applications. Even though myself, I yesterday could find some interesting materials from the Instagram, not for example, how to say, any sites, but on Instagram.
Cool. Thank you, Kralai. Thank you so much. And Mirwert wrote, we should sell ourselves expensive. We should sell. We should sell ourselves expensive.
She means that we should package ourselves as an expensive product. You're a brand.
Yeah. We should know the price of ourselves. Yeah. Thank you. So we have to finish in 5 minutes. Please, colleagues, let's summarize.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah. Okay.
I am Abdullah Mitindira from Uttar region, Southern Kazakhstan. If there are some about 2 or 3 students who even can't read the text, although he is or she is at secondary level of school, maybe 6th or 7th grade, and during the lesson, teachers find some difficulties working with them during the lesson because teachers have to prepare several tasks for them who have low-level students. But these students shame to do these tasks, and in this case, how we can work with students who has low level if they don't want to do this.
Who are bad at English, yes?
Yeah, who are bad.
Even can't read, she says, yeah.
Yes.
So, Robert, will you answer?
This is my view. When you walk into your classroom, you see 15 or 20 students or 30 students. Okay, but you are okay. I am supposed to see an individual student, senior student. I'm supposed to see an individual student. So what my understanding from that, you have a very varied classroom where most of the students are understanding English, but there are one or two that are very, very low level. So you can actually teach the two groups where you have a lesson plan and the content for this other group. And these two students, you give them special attention. So you introduce the lesson, you give the rest of the students what they are doing, then you move to this particular student and sit with them. In my opinion, you sit with them with a specific task for them that is within their learning level, so that we don't generalize one shoe fits all. We don't look at the student, like my class has 25 students. You look at the individual students. I have 25 students, but individually I have this student, this is his ability. I have this student, this is his ability. In my view, that's how I would look at it. I know it's a bit challenging, but you're a teacher, you're exceedingly wise. So what will happen is you'll introduce the lesson for the rest, give a task, and as the rest are going, go sit down with this student. Let him not do the whole class task. Let him do the specific task that you have designed to help him.
Differentiation.
Yes.
Differentiation.
That's how I look at it.
One size doesn't fit everybody.
Yeah, one size doesn't fit.
Yes.
So if I continued or not?
Sorry?
Will our conversation continued or not? Or just we are finishing now?
Just 10 minutes and we will finish, yeah? You see, Robert said about differentiation, and we have to consider our students' needs, needs. If student needs something easier, we have to give him something easier. Because just now, yeah, when we are talking with you, we also try to respect your needs, yeah. So that's why when we teach students and when we teach 20 students, we have to realize that 20 students are not at the same level. And when I plan one exercise for students, like a true-false exercise, for example, I have to understand that that exercise will not fit for everyone. Yeah, I have to understand that my, for example, Jean Bolat and Jean Dos can't do this true-false exercise. So I have to give them some support. When you were planning, you knew that you have Jean Dos and Jean Bolat, who is very weak at English. So then, why did you plan that exercise for everyone? Why do we sometimes ignore that we've got some very weak students? We have to care about them. We have to organize some kind of support for these Jean Dos and Jean Bolat, because I want them to improve and to study well and to be at the same level with other students. So differentiation is an essential part of your teaching. We have, every time when you plan one task, please think about your students. Who can do this task? Who can't do this task? And who will be bored with this task? Because you've got really high motivated learners, and for them, this true-false task will not be interesting. They will do it in 2 minutes and they will get bored. And once they will how to say, being bored again and again, it comes to that situation that this very well student may become as a medium student once a time, yeah, because you don't challenge him. Siz onun өсуіне жол беріп жатқан жоқсыз. You don't challenge him, you don't give him opportunity to use his potential, his high potential. And at the same time, you don't help those students, Жанболат and Janibek или кто, Жандос, yeah? You don't help them and you just ignore them and you speak with others, these 18 students, and those two, they do nothing. It's unfair. I know that it is really difficult. I know. I can't say that you every time care about Jandos and Jambulat. Yeah? I don't have to say this. And because the rest of your students may пострадают, это как будет, Ксения? Suffer, да? Suffer. The rest of your students may suffer, and they may stop their developing. They may stop their developing because of this Jambulat and Jandos. So that's why we have to balance our teaching. Sometimes I really, this lesson, I really work hard with Jambulat and Jandos, and next time I focus on others, maybe. Like that, something like that. It's just one way.
Here I also can I express my idea or thought here. So one more thing that to make your weak students, I mean weak students, English interested in your lesson, you can differentiate your activity. For example, you can give one activity to students, and you can divide them, into groups. For example, 3 groups, and each group contains 1 or 2 strong people, then 1 weak. Like this, you can give them course, and you say that if you can do it with your best, I can give you high scores to all of you, like this. Yes. It's also a kind of motivation, a kind of how to say improvisation, their knowledge and their interest in your subject, in your English lesson.
Thank you. That's a great point, a great addition to that. Okay, several strategies just to make sure that when every student leaves that classroom, they feel that their needs have been fully addressed. Okay.
Why?
Yeah, dear teachers, thank you very much. I think it's high time. I think, yeah. Thank you very much for participating today. It was a pleasure to share our experience with your experience. Really, we all learn from each other because it's teaching. We still learn how to teach.
My closing remarks, I would conclude by saying that as a teacher, the government or the institution you're working for may never pay you fully for the role that you're doing. You are a leader, you're a parent, you're everything. You wear so many hats in that classroom. So feel that you're doing the very best, be motivated, teach that child with the emphasis that you want somebody else to teach your child. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really good words. If you want your children, your grandchildren, your grandchildren being well educated, yeah, and being high motivated, please try to teach other children, other people's children in the best way you can do. Yeah, try to motivate them. Try to give them all you have and try to treat them with your heart. because it is your mission. Yeah, it is not just your job. It is not just the way of life. It is not just a salary, but it is your big mission of your life. You educate people, and these people, they form our society. If we want to live in a good society with good people, we have to be a good example for our teachers or for our students. Thank you for your participating. It was really, so this 1 hour, it was so short, I think, but I have another meeting, you see. So the Ksenia also in Russia, and Robert also. Thank you again. I think next month we will meet again, and the topic of our speaking will be about professional burnout. Ksenia, do you remember our Instagram?
And I wrote it in our chat. Speak English.
Will you write one more time, okay?
Yeah, I will write it.
Please join us on Instagram, and because there will be an announcement or advertisement about our meeting when we will meet next time. Probably it will be after 25th of December. Yeah. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. Thank you very much. Thank you. See you again. We will be glad to meet you again on our next speaking club.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Done.